education for Nautic Ed, and this video is for instructors, but if you're a student, we kind of want you to watch it as well. This is our virtual reality training program, and what we're going to do in this video is just show instructors what we want you to do with students the first time that you're leading them through a virtual reality training session. And really you should have the students do the self-mastery course. So I just want to show you that. Let's into the Nautic Ed training room, and this is the self-mastery course that we want students to go through first before you get on the boat with an instructor. So you just go right to that one, and that's where you're going to go through it by yourself. So instructors, just listen up, send the student to that one first. We really want the student to spend some time just going through that. Let's get back to the main menu here. So what we want you to do is get into a private training room with your student, and we'll show you how to set that up. But we're just going to get into a private training room, and then we're going to start talking about what you're going to do with your student on the boat. So I'm going through this fast, but we have another video to show you how to get through all that and actually onto the boat. So here we are onto a boat, and you'll both join this boat. If you notice, there's a Sydney Opera House right over there. So we're in Sydney. It doesn't matter where you are. We've had one student in Hawaii. I was in Austin, Texas, and we were training how to sail. So the first thing that's going to happen, you're going to come into this area here, and this is a racing area. Okay, now you don't have to start the race first. So what we say is, let's go sailing first. And then once you get some of the principles down, like join a little race, and then come back out and do some more training, then join another race, and go from there. So just to sort of start, we're going to start the race, but that doesn't mean we're going to actually go racing. That just allows us to get the thing moving and get on the water. So right now, what we want you to do as an instructor, you should be standing over here or over here. And the way to get to that is just, point at it and trigger. Have your student back there taking the wheel, and the first exercise is just to get the student sailing in a straight line. Okay, so, and when I say sailing in a straight line, it just means holding a course. So you're pointing at something. So typically a good thing to start off with is pointing at the Sydney Opera House. And we got a nice boat coming in here. Hopefully they're going to miss us, because we're just standing here. Yeah, they're going in front. Okay, so just get the student sailing in a straight line, and usually that's actually pretty difficult really on the water. So we're going to start this out, and let's get going. First off, let's get the whole situation going first. So let's tighten up the sails and set the boat up for the student. So tack around. Alright. Let's tighten the sails up a little bit. Tighten everything up. And so as the instructor, don't spend any time with the student trimming sails and everything like that. I just want you to teach the student how to sail a straight line, and the way to do that, this little button right here, is you squeeze that one with your finger like that and put it on the wheel. Okay, so now you're constantly using the wheel. There's one way of steering the boat, which is this little button down, this white button. I don't want you to do that. So just have the student just sitting here, and it's really quite tempting to get distracted by horns and things going on, and so the boat's doing this. But the first part of the exercise is to be just sailing a straight line. And then as the instructor, you can say, well, okay, there's Needle Point Tower over there. Let's go ahead and sail for that. And as the instructor, again, you can be in the background just sort of trimming sails and stuff, but I don't want you at all even to think about trying to teach the student sail trim for right now. Alright, Good on you at Needle Point Tower, back to Sydney Opera House. Okay, just holding a straight line. And you'll be surprised, the student will be all over the place. Students, if you're holding a straight line, that's fantastic, and this is just part of the real exercise, and just keep doing this. Now we're going for Sydney Harbour Bridge. And now let's just bear away to one of these buildings over here. So that middle one right there. And, you know, instructor, look, you can, in the background, sort of ease the sails a little bit. Right, just ease them. Again, don't really need to be talking to the student about what is going on. Basically, I just say to the student, just ignore me, just sail for that building. Alright, and what you'll find is the student starts drifting off as you're talking. No, come back to the building. This is the exercise, sailing a straight line. So that's exercise number one. I guarantee you it'll probably take 5 or 10 minutes to get them sailing a straight line. The next exercise, after you do that, is just talking about how the sails get set. And so bring the student up to, say, Needle Point Tower, 30 degrees off the wind. There's the wind vane up there. And so what I want you to do as the instructor now is just say, okay, windworm close on the wind, 30 degrees off the wind. We want to have the sail set like this. This is nice and tight. Okay, look, that's as far as it goes in there. And take a look at the head sail. That's in as close as it'll go. Right, and that is it. So just have them burn into their brain that this is how it's set. 30 degrees off the wind, right there, coming across. They can see it coming across the boat here. And take a look at the wind vane. It's right, the back of it is right on the red fantail there. And then that's it for that exercise. So just remember this. Okay, now let's go across the wind on a beam reach. And I want you to just tell the student's still on the wheel because you want them steering a straight course. So just say to the student, okay, well, let's take a look at the sails now. And you're going to be setting them. Alright, so the sails were on a beam reach, sails are out, a little bit, a decent amount, alright, and you're not talking about telltales right now, not talking about telltales, you just want them to take a look, here's the wind, so let's actually get on a real beam reach, right about there, okay, and in the background, you're just slowly trimming the sails, alright, and just tell a student, don't worry about it. All you want them to do is aim for a certain thing. Winds across, beam reach, sails are set out a decent amount. And let's do the final part of it. And for this, I just say there's sort of 3 sail positions. So let's get sort of, mostly doing a nice little broad reach down here. Let's set the sails out. As the instructor, again, you're just setting them out, not talking about telltales. Alright. And now you're telling a student, keep the hand on the wheel. You've got to keep that button squeezed. Sailing for a straight line, and look at the sails, they're set out. Alright, so that's, I can kind of bring that one in for anybody that's obsessive, compulsive disorder. They'll want to see this perfectly trimmed. So that's it. That's that part of the exercise. So now what I would do is run the student through those 3 positions. So you just say, okay, I want you to now aim for this building over here. All right, and then, Mr. Student, tell me how the sails should be set. Not telltales, no flapping or anything like that. Just they should be set sort of most of the way in, but not all the way. Okay.
Where are you going? Please come back to the racing area.
Okay, what's going to happen, so see this red line here? That is the edge of the actual virtual reality. It's like the end of space, so things are going to reset once you go through that line. It's no big deal. So we'll just go through this line and you can just sort of start again. It'll put you back to the start. And you can actually sit here and have a nice little debrief. Okay. So talk about the sails, talk about how they were set, talk about how you want the person on the helm just doing the helming, okay? And the 3 positions of sails. So we'll do that. I'm just going to tighten this up again. Let's get the boat moving. And so this is what I've found in how to get a person going properly in virtual reality, which actually extends very well into reality. Okay, so again, we're talking about just getting your student to sail to certain positions, and they are telling you, they're not on sail trim yet, they are just telling you from the helm. And so all of this is just giving them heaps of helming experience. There's a boat right there. Alright, so bringing it up. So the 3 positions, bringing it up. How should the sails be set? Just tell me, how's the sails set? Well, they should be in. Okay, great. And you do the trimming as the instructor. Okay. Okay, aim for that middle building right there. All right. How should the sails be set? Well, they should be, out a decent amount. Okay. Look, don't care about the trim, the telltales. Okay, that's a good job. All right. Where's that building? Get back to that building. Okay, and then down. So this is the 3. So you're introducing sort of 3 points of sail at this point. All right, and you're telling them how to do it. All right, then I want you to swap positions. So the next thing is, instructor, you zoom over here or zoom over here, and then get the student to come up in front to one of these. And then what you're going to do is you are going to, as the instructor, you're going to steer the boat. All right, and again, you're going to first tell the student how to, or where. You're going to tell the student to tell you how the sail should be set. And then we're going to allow them to set the sails. All right, so maybe first off, even just start straight up, high on the wind. So they say in nice and tight. So there you go. All right, well done. All right, so again, it's pretty obvious the rest of it is just you, the instructor, you are turning the boat and telling the student to set the sails according to a little bit out or a lot out. Okay. And then as the instructor, just be picking different points. So now the student is starting to get some idea, and you can talk about the wind here so they can use that as an aid. But now they're starting to get an idea, and again, don't care really if the sails are flapping too much right now. It's more important that they start to understand that the sails, the further downwind, the more you set the sails out. The closer into the wind, the more you set the sails in. And so they get a relative position. They know that needle point tower there, that should be in nice and tight. And they know that down over here, that's going downwind right there. Look, they should be letting the sails, quite a long way out. All right. And that was interesting. This is how the physics works. Look, I'm holding the wheel. I'm going to tighten up the mainsail. It moves the center of pressure on the sails backwards. Without me adjusting the wheel, it brought the boat up. So look, this is how good the physics actually is in this training environment. Okay, so as the instructor, why don't you do a little jibe? All right, now we've sort of messed them up a little bit, messed up their brain. But let's dial it back in again so that now you're starting to say, well, there's 30 degrees is over here. Right there's the wind, so we're about here. Mr. Student, Mrs. Student, tell me how to set the sails. We're close on the wind. Now, sails should be set nice and tight. Well done. All right, so go through the same exercise now, just doing this. All right, how should the sails be set? Well, we're off the wind a little bit, sort of across, so maybe we should let them out a little bit. All right, so without boring you with the rest of it, that whole exercise should take about 15 minutes or so. What we're going to do now is dive in to start talking about sail trim. Actually, I'm just going to barge right into this video here. And after you've done this with the 3 points of sail, what we think is a good idea to actually do a race. So to jump out, both student and instructor just jump out. So exit the main menu. And then let's go back into the lobby. And it's going to put us back at the start. And then we're going to actually do a little race. So get back in, join this race. So race starts right over here. You can click this button, start the race, and actually do a race. Now, student on helm. Okay, and instructor here. Instructor, I want you doing the sails. Let's just tighten those up a little bit, just to stop them from flapping. I want you doing sails. And we just want the student to experience racing around the race, and you'll actually be doing tacks. So you'll do a tack around 1, and then 2's over here. And whoa, hello, that's bad. Starboard. Actually, we are on starboard. And 3 is back over there. So he's coming around for another whack at us. Cheeky bugger. That's the bot, okay, that you're going to be racing against. So be careful of him, he's a cheeky bugger. So a race is really important. Just after you've sort of done the sail set, you've got the student that has got the steering down, they know how to steer a straight line, they understand the principles of setting the sails out a little bit, a lot, or in tight. And at this point they've learned enough where you can do a race. Again, student on helm, instructor on sail trim, and instructor, you can be trimming the sails and doing all the telltales as much as you want. Anyway, okay, so back out and back to our regular program. What we're going to do now is dive in to start talking about sail trim with the telltales. And the easiest way that we've found is, because you can see them so well, is move the sail towards the flapping telltale. So flapping telltales on this side, move the sail this way. So let's trim it in. And I think the best thing to do is you, the instructor, you're on the wheel at this point, because you can hold the wheel and the course straight. The student is still going to get very distracted by trying to do the telltales at the same time, so they're going to be like this all over the place. All right, so instructor, you're behind the wheel, and having the student just adjust the sails, move the sail towards the flapping telltale. So flapping telltale is over there, so we're going to move this one. And actually what the student can do, it's kind of fun, you can actually grab the winch with your squeeze trigger, and you can actually turn, and you can get really quite look at that, I got distracted as I looked down. Anyway, you can get sort of fine tuning on that. Alright, so that's going to be introducing the telltales, where you've got the student sort of standing right here, moving the telltales towards the sail. That exercise is probably going to take 5 to 10 minutes. At this point, you've got the student who has understood the telltales. They can hold a straight line, and they know, which is really important, about where they should set the sail. So what I kind of, before you have them start trimming, they need to tell you first off, based on the wind, about where the sail should be set, then trim. So don't start trimming just based on the telltales. We want to set the sails appropriately first and then trim. And I want you to have them talking through and telling you exactly what they were thinking all the time about the sails, to keep them on target and not getting distracted by looking around or another boat is coming, something like that. So as they talk that through with you, you're being able to hear what they're saying in terms of how should the sails be set, and you can question them. Why should the sail be in tight when the wind is like that? Okay, now I think what you should do is get over here and go race a race. And in actual fact, I got a little distracted. I think you should probably race a race after the first round of training, where you were just finished up talking about how the sails should be set and not with the sail trim from the telltale. So after you finish that, get over there and get into a race. And instructor, you're going to be trimming the sails anyway, so it really doesn't matter. Have the student steering the race. All right, so we'll get over to the race right now, and we're going to race a little race, and I'll just sort of take you through that, how that works. All right, so to get back to the race at any time, both of you just exit the main menu and then go into the lobby and then come back to here, and you'll end up at this position ready to do a race. And what's really cool about the racing is that now you're going to start doing tacking and jibing. So again, I would have the student behind the wheel doing the steering, and you're just going to be telling them what to aim for on the horizon, and then they can be doing just watching you doing sail trim. You have an opportunity to talk about sail trim all the way through this, and we'll just get the boat moving. So again, you're doing all the trimming this first time around. We're going to go ahead and tack the boat. There's another bot out there that we're going to be racing against. There he is over there. Alright, so let's get up to the committee boat and let's do a start. What I like to do is take the time, which is right here as well, right there. As you pass the committee boat, halve it, because you're going to go out and back again. Alright, so halve the time, but add 10 seconds for the time it takes to do a tack. So 70 seconds, that's 35, and then add 10 seconds, so that's 45. Let's bet the boat going fast. So when it gets to 45 seconds, we're going to tack the boat around and come back to the start, back to the committee boat, and we'll start the race. So, and again, just student, all you're doing. So you're telling your student, aim for Sydney Opera House. Don't worry. 45 seconds. All right, let's tack the boat around. And instructor, you're going to control the sails, and you're actually going to control the speed of the boat as well, because if you think you're going to be early, you certainly don't want to do that. So we got 30 seconds. So you're probably kind of thinking to slow the boat down a little bit. Number one is over here. So student, as we go past the committee boat, you're going to turn up, and you're probably going to be aiming to one of these buildings over here. We've got 12 seconds. Let's get going. Let's make the boat go fast. Let's make the boat go fast. 4 seconds. We're a little tiny bit late, but that's not bad. We do have a boat over here. We are on starboard, so I think we should be able to hold our course and make them bear away. Set my sails in tight. You can be talking all the way through about how the sail should be set. Number one is over here. The bot is ahead of us, so we've got some work to do. So again, just, student holding a straight course, and you just keep an eye on that. Look at the telltales, make sure that's nice and tight. And I think it might be time to tack the boat, so let's do that. I think we were a little bit high on the wind there. So let's tighten the sails up. Keep an eye out for that cardinal mark. You can bring that in. Okay. Watching the speed, 6 knots. Okay. bot overstood the mark a little bit, so we got some chance to catch back up again. Can attack the boat, Mr. Student. Attack the boat and tie, and then we're going to let out number 2 over here. So let's get going nice and fast. Ease the mainsail. Headsail come in a bit. And this gives you a chance where the student is tacking the boat, but again, when you tell a student to tack the boat, you're telling them, that's okay, got to keep an eye out for stuff. When you're tacking the boat, you tell the student what to aim for. Okay, this time we're going to be jibing, so we're going to be jibing around here, and I think it's pretty safe to say we just go for number 3. So turn the boat around. Let's aim for number 3. Okay. Right, ease. Ease. Let's get the boat going fast. Getting distracted here. And we've got a spinnaker out. Nice. Sometimes that spinnaker will come out if you're going on more of a downwind, I think automatically. We're going to lose against this bot, unfortunately, today. I have beaten the bot plenty of times. And then Mr. Student, you're going to come up. Let's come up nice and tight, and probably aiming for needlepoint tower. I can probably even do better than that. How we're doing on the wind. There's right there. Oh, definitely come up higher. There we go, right there. Finish line is over here, so we got to go. Sails in nice and tight. Bear away a little bit. We lost speed. This is really amazing sailing training. And it adds a little bit of excitement to it as well. So now let's go ahead and tack the boat. And let's go for the finish line. Nice and fast. And you'll notice that the wind vane just outside that fantail will make the boat go nice and fast. So here we go. Oh, I mean, it's the horn. We only lost by a few seconds. We're on starboard. Starboard! Alright, so you get the point. I would run the race maybe 3 times after each kind of different exercise, so that the student can get a little bit of fun, can get some excitement. If you can beat the bot, I mean, that's amazing. And you've gone through tacking, jibing, you've gone through sail trim, you've gone through approximately where the sails should be set, and you've gone through steering the boat and holding a course and pointing. This, you would take about 5 hours on the water to train a student to do all of this, and I think you can probably see that this was realistic. This is about 40 minutes of the training, and do this like on a Wednesday night for 40 minutes before you get out on the boat on Saturday, on the real boat. We have to distinguish these days, real boat, virtual boat. So imagine if the student had all of these skills as they showed up Saturday morning. You're going to be spending a lot of time with them actually doing some more advanced stuff, or what's even better, the repetitive stuff, the tacking, the jibing, holding course, steering a straight line on the boat. And I think you'll be, well, I know you will be completely surprised how well the student does that. And so by the end of Sunday, if you're doing a weekend training, the student is going to be really, really amazing, and be able to move on to much more advanced systems, especially on a bigger boat. You can start talking about the whole boat and the operations of the boat, so that they start to feel confident on a large boat like this. Okay, I'm going to leave you there, and happy training.